Feels good to be home. I am back home. This is Prashant.
Jatan.
And I'm here with Jatan, my buddy.
Hello.
That's how it all started. Prashant and Jatan having a conversation about cricket. And we are like, we got to legitimize this. Like, we got to create some structure. So that's how Cow Corner got formed. So this is the Cow Corner. It's Prashant and Jatan. It's our episode number whatever. We are losing track, which is a good thing. You know, we are chugging along. We are really having a good time having a conversation. Either we are doing three of us, you know, Jatan, Siddharth and I, or just two of us, or just solo sometimes. Because we cannot stop talking about cricket. Especially right now. And we have a mega semi-final to talk about. Between India and England. And I was in London when this was going on. So I did some trash talking. You know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So with some of my friends
Let's
there.
hear about that.
This is how I don't do trash talking, Jatan. You know, it takes me a lot of effort.
Of course you don't.
So my first line was, "May the best team win," was my line to one of my friends. And his response was, "I hope not." Right? and he was British. So it was pretty clear what the better team was. But, you know, really high octane, I think. So I want to... let's get into it, Jatan.
This was the high octane one.
Any other thoughts before we jump into it?
No, I think let's go in.
I have series of questions then. For you.
Okay. So just to go back on it, we are at episode 30. This is the 30th one that we are recording.
Ooh,
so
nice.
it is one of the things that get tracked, right? How many 30s a batsman has made, like rather than 50s or 100s, right? So yeah, it's a milestone from a T20 perspective.
And when you say the number 30, Jatan, I will always remember there are very few number 3 batsmen in Test that get there when their first class average is below 30. And I know one of them, two of them now. So 30 is actually, it's interesting, right? It's a good number, almost like a full month. So I think it's good. We are at episode number 30. So here are my questions for you, Jatan. You ready?
Shoot them.
So the semi-final, were those two teams expected to meet in the semi-final? Were they deserving? What I mean by that is, what if Afghanistan and Zimbabwe played the semi-final? You would say, we didn't expect them to meet in the semi-final. So do you think India and England were expected to meet each other in the semi-final? Did we expect these two teams to meet?
We did not really expect, but if you look at the track record, right? Before the match, I was checking the recent record, and England has won last five of their last games. So they do deserve. We had picked Sri Lanka, I guess, instead of England. So, but Sri Lanka's past record would be 3 losses out of 5. I don't know, or 2 losses out of 5, whatever. Yeah, at least three out of 5. So, if you look at it that way, England won all their last 5 matches, and they deserved it. So, I think these were the two very good teams. Rather, the top 4 teams of the tournament made it to the semi-finals. So that was great. Yep.
So at the beginning of the World Cup, if you said, "Hey, the 2 semi-finals are going to be South Africa, New Zealand, and England, India," you'd be like, "Yep, that makes sense." Yeah. So actually, then the answer is yes. Was it the semi-final we expected though, as a match? Overall, just high level, like. Would you say?
Probably not 250, but I did expect it to be a high scoring game. And one thing that I expected and which didn't happen, which was in India's was better for India, right? Was that Dew didn't show up. So we'll come to that probably in more detail later. But
yeah. The credit must be given where it's due. Typical dad joke. So, but again, right? So these are the two teams we thought will meet in the semi-final. The semi-final what's the phrase I'm looking for? The semi-final didn't disappoint. It wasn't like, somebody got bundled for 100 and somebody, as an example, South Africa, New Zealand, I think it was disappointing. It's not, it was too one-sided. New Zealand just destroyed South Africa. Not that we expected it, but that's why. It went the way which we didn't expect. I think this particular semi-final was how you would want a World Cup semi-final to be.
Absolutely, yes.
So my point is, if you just said, hey, it's India-England semi-final, tick. India expected to win. Yes, tick. India won the match. Tick. There's nothing to talk about. Well, but it's never quite that way, right?
No, it's
because
never that
the
way.
Scoreline results never tell the full story.
Yeah, when there are 22 people playing for 3.5 hours, bowling 40 overs to each other, there's definitely things that happen that can be talked about.
Lots of drama. So then I have the final question, and then Jatan, you can take over. If you were to pick one loser or losers and winners, we haven't done that in a little while. From your perspective, who were the losers? And you can pick one from either team and winners from either team. Right at the top of your head.
Yeah, I think losers, when I'll probably have to pick from India, I'll probably have to pick Varun Chakravarti. I think he's the top T20 bowler in the world, and sure, the pitch was totally against him. But I mean, Bumrah is probably the top bowler in the world for years now, and he figured out a way to keep batsmen quiet, right? And they're chalk and cheese.
So you're saying Varun for India.
Yeah.
How about for England?
For England, I would say one of their top order batsmen, right? Salt maybe. Or pick one, Salt, Butler, or Brook, right? Because the way Sanju gave start to India, right? They had to do that. Salt again flopped. Butler, we felt that he's getting back, but he was rusty. He never got off that rust. Sure, he hit a 6, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. He got bowled by Varun, who was taken to the cleaners by all the other batsmen.
Actually, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. So between those two losers, one of them was a winner between them, which is really, But I'm with you, actually. And I wanted to ask you that question because, I was thinking about, it was the match actually matched all the expectations, delivered what you would expect from those two teams scoreline-wise, but still there were some distinct disappointments, right? From India, it was Varun. From England, for me, it was Butler. I mean, it's almost sad to see his state because at some point I had said, I'm like, he's going to have some monster inning, and he's the one who can score 130 balls, right? If somebody said Butler is going to score 130, 35 balls, I'll be like, that's possible. But it was sad.
And personally, right, I really like him. I mean, he's one of my few England players whom I like. Brook, of course, Joe Root, right? Those are a few people I like in the England team. And his it's kind of his downfall, which is not very pretty.
Anyway, so those are the questions. I mean, winner-wise, we can jump into the match, and then that will, in of itself, distill out the winners. I just want to say one thing right at the top. There is no one else I want to talk about or care about or mattered. They are just mere humans, mere mortals. There's only one, Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, if India didn't have Bumrah, India had no friggin' chance of winning this match at all. It was just, you can use any superlatives you have, mesmerizing, I don't know, all, but he's not even that. He's just so low key. It seems so down to earth, just doing his stuff. His body language is like very, almost like a quote unquote ordinary human being doing extraordinary things. It's just unbelievable. So anyway,
he is right. So if you compare somebody could call Sanju Samson gave a good start, right? He was amazing. He got the player of the match, which was very very strange. But anyway, you could say Bethel made 105. Sure, I mean these are good knocks and good things, right? But this was again a highway, right? This was a road. This was a flat a pitch as can be, right? So they're supposed to make the runs. The batsmen are supposed to make the runs. Only one bowler across both the teams, right, had an economy of 8.25 in 4 overs.
It's nuts.
And after bowling the 16th and the 18th overs, when a player on 100 is going berserk, it's just unbelievable. The 18th over was unbelievable. You could read about it, you could watch it again. You just feel that should just
here's
keep
the
going
irony.
on.
Sorry, here's the irony, Jatan. I watched the highlights last night. They didn't show that over.
They don't.
Bumrah's.
They showed only two balls.
Do you know
Yeah.
what you missed in the
Exactly.
highlights?
That's why
It was
that's
so
why the
annoying.
highlights suck. Actually, they don't. It doesn't show any of the.
Is it like AI generated because there weren't any boundaries hit, or they were just singles taken? I mean, that was high octane highlight of the match. That over was nuts.
And when every ball he bowled, right, the applause that was going around. That's the only time you would applaud a dot or a good ball, right?
You get goose pimples. Think about that. I want to watch the entire match and for that one over for sure. But because I was not able to watch. I was traveling. So
yeah, absolutely, you should.
Yeah. Anyway, so
all right, just to recap, right? As in the match itself.
India
won England won the toss, and I was like really worried. Okay, what happens if dude sets in, right? So I lost faith right at that time. But the interesting thing that I saw, right, Surya Kumar Yadav, the captain, in his pre-match interview or the interview at the toss, said that, and it's interesting, I've never heard that before. He said that there is a bit of a wind going around, which means that he thinks there will be no dew. Maybe
mind games.
Maybe it is, or maybe it's true. I don't know, because there was no dew. So maybe with some wind, it's the water or the humidity is not going to set. It's going to be moved around or something like that. I don't know. Something to look up, right? But with some wind around, he didn't think that there will be a lot of dew, and there wasn't, right? So maybe there was something to it. We should figure that out. But yeah, so. The thing that India did, which South Africa couldn't do last time, is actually put up a good score. That's what we were saying yesterday, right? South Africa obviously got the wrong end of the stick, and they were not able to take advantage of. I mean, put the runs on the board. So that also they couldn't do. So that of course, on a pitch where the dew hadn't been there, they could have made a match out of it, but they couldn't, right? But here on this track, India took advantage of obviously a very expensive drop. But I wouldn't even blame Brook, because maybe if Sanju was out, maybe somebody else could have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, things change,
sure.
right? So
I'm with you.
But India, everybody contributed except probably Abhishek Sharma, and to some extent Surya Kumar Yadav was. But overall, very good cameos. Ishan Kishan 39 in 18, Shivam Dubey 43 in 25, Hardik Pandya 27 in 12, Prime Time 21 in 7. So. And obviously held together by Sanju, right? So everybody contributed. 253 for 7 in 20 overs was a fabulous score. All kinds of records were broken, had to be broken for England to win. ESPN Cricket Info gave a 2% chance for England to win when they started batting. So it was like a really great performance by India. But I think the climax was yet to come, right? So those England started slightly bad as they lost a couple of wickets, but they never really let the run rate go down. That was interesting, right? They were playing. They were always probably ahead or at the point where India was at that point. Sure, they had lost more wickets, but in T20, right, number of wickets lost 2 to 3, right? It's okay, because even a 5 and a 6 can. Have a 60-70 partnership and win the game for you. So I mean, Bethel and Jax especially really scared the Indian team, I'm sure. And again, if not for the 16th, even the 17th, Arshdeep, he gave 4 and a 6 in the last 2 balls, but he generally kept it tight. large extent Bumrah, to a certain extent Ashdeep, and obviously the 19th over by Hardik also mattered. So a combination of really good death bowling saved India the blushes, because at one point it seemed that England might actually
totally 100%. They were on. By the way, so one other thing we had to mention, and it's almost I'm almost feeling apologetic, is not to have mentioned Aksar. The catch that he took of Brook was, I mean, if we were talking about the other one, which was a relay, fine, that was great also. But Brook's catch was unreal. I mean, for me, obviously, for my generation, 1983.
We always remember
catch,
that.
Right, of Kapil Dev and Vivian Richards' catch.
Yeah.
This was kind of even more next level.
Yeah,
it was harder. He had to run longer, and then he had to dive.
Yeah, I think in this case he was going like along the line of the ball, right? And I think in case of Kapil, right, he was at some angle, so he probably had a better view of the ball, like kind of coming from an angle, but still going back and looking over the shoulder. But here it was like right behind you, like 0 degrees behind you. Here he had some degrees to work with, Kapil Dev. But anyway, nothing taking away from that. Those were different times, and fitness levels were also different, and you didn't expect such things to happen. So it was a bigger thing there. These days you expect such catches kind of to be attempted and probably even taken.
You have to actually not just make an effort, right? Because just enough isn't. No, you got to go and actually make the catch happen. That catch was sensational.
It was sensational.
Funnily, just slight tangent, but in later part of the inning, actually Aksar almost took another blinder on the boundary. When he kind of dove and it went for a 6, but he almost even took that catch.
Maybe if there was somebody right besides him, he would have sent it. I mean, And one thing I saw right after the match, Akshar's interview, it's a very, very interesting thing he mentioned about that catch. He said he loved that catch that he took of Harry Brook more than. So he was asked to choose which one was better, and he chose the Harry Brook one, and he gave a reason for that. He said obviously it was harder. He was asking Parthiv Patel was interviewing, and he asked, as a cricketer, you would know how hard it is to run back behind and then take it. And he said that what made him take the catch, or what helped, was right before he took the catch, he slowed down and he steadied himself.
Yeah,
that momentary thing, which he said helped. Like if you're just running behind the ball and then trying to catch it, right? You are not in shape. You're not in steadiness, or you're not in position.
You mentioned that the other day, Jatan, right? When a couple of catches were dropped.
Yeah,
that's exactly the point you had mentioned. How the not losing shape. We talk about just while batting, but even while fielding. That's interesting.
So he himself said that I took a pause and made sure I'm in control, and then he took the catch, and it's middle. And actually, while watching that catch, it felt to me also that he's kind of done something to get into that position to take it, and he mentioned the same thing. So it kind of was felt very nice. Yeah. So that great catch. The second one was obviously very good. Again, running around full speed, he was like really big steps he was taking. He got to it both hands, and then with losing balance, Dubey being there, being aware, looking at Akshar, not ramming into him, but staying around and making sure he takes the relay perfect. Awesome. Right?
That made me also think last World Cup, maybe you can quickly look it up. Akshar took actually a really good catch even last World Cup in the boundary line.
Yeah, he's a revelation as a fielder. I mean, he doesn't look like somebody, a tall, lanky fellow, sure, but doesn't seem that fast, or doesn't seem that athletic. But
super athletic,
I mean, he is. He proves everybody wrong. Somebody like in football, a wide receiver taking those catches, right? But then still the balls are definitely different
and bigger.
This was bigger. Yeah. This was fabulous, unbelievable. So great fielding, and also special mention Tilak's catch in the 19th over. Of Karan. I think that was also it came to him, but I mean he kept his cool and didn't step over the line. Took it high up. TV. Yeah.
That's what it's primetime TV. Somebody should tell him, hey, this cow corner people call you primetime TV.
Primetime TV. Yeah.
Yeah, sensational. If he as a player, the couple of shots he hits off Jofra were just, confident, right? So confident. And the ball
I
that
like
he got
him
out,
at that position. Actually.
Yeah,
I like him more than number 3. So I think maybe India got the best combination, right?
Yeah. I remember listening to what Siddharth was saying that day. It's like, why put him at number 3, right? Let him be at number 5. He came at 5.
Yeah. He came after Dubey, but
Correct.
They keep
Same.
5, 6, 7 is a bit fluid, which is okay. But yeah, not in the top 3.
See, you lost 3 wickets and whatever, took in 3 wickets and Tilak Verma walks out. So yeah. The other thing actually I found a little surprising is how Adil Rashid, and he's an amazing T20 bowler, bowled to Dubey. Right? Dubey got to bat, I think, 2 overs of Rashid. Yeah. And he hit some really big shots.
3 sixes to him, yes.
Yeah, which is, I don't know whether it is a miss from a matchup perspective, but I don't know, maybe the match situation warranted that. But I was surprised to see that kind of matchup from England, knowing that Dubey is there predominantly to hit spinners.
Yeah, I was surprised too, especially the second over. You probably he's your best bowler, so you probably trust him to do it. But with Dubey hitting 2 sixes in his first over, he gave him the second over also, so that was surprising.
Yeah, that's again, this match turned out to be what we thought it would be, right? The better team definitely won. The number 1 team won. Again, the only reason India ended up winning was because of Jasprit Bumrah. And again, it's a team sport, so probably it's not fair, right?
That's
the batters
he
had
was
to
probably
score
the difference.
250.
Yeah, he was probably the difference because
for sure.
There was no Jasprit Bumrah in England who could restrict the team, the Indian batting to say 230 or 220, right? Couldn't do that. So they eventually reached 253, and sure, the difference is 7 runs, but it was over.
For sure.
After the 18th over, and 19th when even Karan got out. 30 overs in the last over obviously is not happening. And when I heard Dubey also saying that he was just concerned with the first 2 balls. He said, I want to just bowl the 2 balls without a 4 or a 6, and he did that, and he was
correct.
Then it was okay. Yeah,
exactly.
So it was around 25 runs. They were less, and that's what the difference was, right? So.
Yeah, and interestingly, at the outset of this World Cup, one of the things Siddharth had asked was, do you think 500 would be reached? And it came close just before the World Cup, actually, right? India-New Zealand match, I think it was 496 or something.
Mm-hmm.
In this match, it came even closer.
490. But Siddharth called it India-England is what he said.
Yeah.
He said one of the England games. I don't know if he said India-England, but I think he said England-West Indies because it was a group game.
Right. No, he did say that's when he would expect 500.
Yeah,
true.
Because both are teams which have power hitters. Obviously, nobody can guess whether India and England will meet in the semis. But yeah, if not England-West Indies, then yes, probably the next option was India-England in one of the knockouts. So
we still have one match to go, final. Let's see if that's going to be the, I remember, Jatan, you called India-New Zealand series before the World Cup as high octane, lots of runs scored, and they're meeting in the final, which is, should be fun. The Finn Allen and Seifert in form, right, scoring a lot of runs. They are at the top of their, at least mentally, they would feel they are at the top of their game, beating South Africa.
Last game would have given them a lot of confidence.
And so is India. Should be a fun, high octane. Again, as a fan, specific teams fan, I would expect it to go as expected, which is, I don't want to say it. I'm very superstitious. So, but
I'll make it easy for you. Whoever wins the toss wins the game in Ahmedabad, which is unfortunate again.
Unless there is a breeze.
Unless there is a breeze, yes. We get probably let's put on some fans there.
Maybe yeah. You should ask the fans to bring it, and in case India is bowling second, just turn on the fans.
Which fans? The fans who are attending.
Yeah, see, good one. Exactly. The fans with lots of fans. So I think so. Again, I would say just other than Varun and Butler, I think individually those two players that you thought would click and do things didn't, which is kind of a little bit sad. But other than that, almost everybody performed. Not similar to what happened with South Africa and New Zealand. It just it went totally in a different direction.
I was too one-sided. One thing I did notice was Archer going for a lot of runs. But I think that I can still probably believe that. But Sam Curran also went for a lot of runs, which is very rare. I mean, he saved the day for England against Nepal by bowling that fabulous last over, right? And he's always been very consistent with the ball. Him giving 53 runs in 4 overs without a wicket was very. He just had an off day. I mean, he tried to make amends with the batting and he did hit some good shots. But he had an off day as a bowler.
Dude, Varun, talk about that. Varun giving 64 whatever runs is just. So So looking ahead, right? For the final, India has a sixth bowler problem. I've said it before. I almost felt that's getting exposed. If not for Bumrah, we were done. Right, Bumrah and even Hardik.
What if you had to defend 15 runs in the last over and you had Akshar and Shivam?
I mean, then at that point you give it to Akshar. I will back up Akshar, not Dubey at all. You don't go to your sixth bowler for the 20th over. I mean, that's ridiculous. So India has a sixth bowler problem. So New Zealand, if you are listening, be aware. Be aware, I should say, not beware. Be aware. India has a sixth bowler problem. So target one of them.
They already know that.
Actually, India now has a fifth bowler problem in Varun.
I know. I was going to say that. That's a good point. Forget the sixth bowler.
Yeah,
There's a fifth bowler problem.
What are they going to do?
I don't think they're going to do anything. I think it's probably too late. Yeah. I would. Again, I'm probably biased, but I would choose Kuldeep. I would have had him in all my matches.
I would get Siraj.
Siraj. Why not? Yeah. Either Kuldeep or Siraj. It depends on, again, what the track is.
And I'm just a dreamer. None of this stuff most likely is going to happen. Mostly we'll just keep the same team, right? The typical cliche of don't change the winning combination. Like, do you have the guts to actually make the change? Do we bring Kuldeep? See, 3 options, right? Don't pick Varun. Instead, get Washington Sundar. It gives you batting. We are obsessed with batting. More depth in the batting. Or get Kuldeep. So forget, but Sundar isn't as good a bowler. I don't think Sundar
can replace the fifth bowler. Yeah,
correct, exactly.
Then
so
you will need Shivam to bowl.
Correct. Then
I don't think
forget
Sundar is an option.
Not in this Kuldeep or Siraj. And the reason I was thinking Siraj is even in the slight tangent, but in the India's tour of England, when Siraj is made as it's still Bumrah is there and Arshdeep. I'm not saying you're going to make him a leader, but if you say here's a critical role for you, this is what we expect from you, it brings best out of Siraj. Has been my general feeling about Siraj. So maybe just bring in Siraj again. Matchups, and I haven't looked at that. The New Zealand batting lineup and who would be a better. But I'm thinking drop Varun and get either Kuldeep or Siraj.
Yeah. I don't think the team will go with 3 fast bowlers, frankly, with Pandya also around, who's 4, and Dubey possible 5th seamer. I don't think we are going to do that. The Indian team is going to do that. So realistically, I think the only possibility is Kuldeep replacing Arun, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, ideally, for me, I would add another bowler. And, but that's not going to happen either.
No.
Right? Anyway, so high-octane, really good final coming up on Sunday. Try to catch up with Siddharth, get his take on it. But again, the second semi-final definitely lived up to the expectations, delivered what the fans wanted. I think England should feel really, really good about how their campaign eventually got there, because they were struggling. They almost came close to losing to Nepal, and kind of recovering from that, beating Sri Lanka and fighting through it. So one last dad joke, right? As they say, where there is a will, there is a way. In the end, England didn't have will. So because they did not have will, they couldn't find a way to win. So you got to make sure will is their finisher. And I'm talking about Will Jacks, obviously, if I wasn't super clear. But that wicket was key. Those two, if those two people were there till the end, possibly
then they
wins.
would have won for sure.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, right?
Bumrah.
With that kind of a high run rate, required run rate, there's always a chance you lose them. And so
for sure. Awesome. So I think it's a wrap. This is Prashant and Jatan, and this is the Cow Corner. Cheers. All right.
This episode was produced by Mukta Phatak. Music by Joe Reynolds.